These 5 things are killing your self-esteem. Let's get into them. Number 1, social media. Here's the thing. You don't have to delete Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever the fuck you use, okay? It doesn't matter. You can still use it. But whenever you're constantly keeping yourself on social media, looking at all your old high school friends' posts, seeing all of the awesome shit that they're doing, and realizing that you're having your head down and working constantly, going to school and doing important shit, you feel awful. Because these people are going out and living their lives, they're exploring, they're having fun. All that shit's fake, okay? Sure, they may actually be going out and doing those things, but I guarantee it makes up a very small portion of their lives. They're showing you the most fun 0.5% to 1% of their lives when they're not showing you the other 99% of their lives being miserable or being stressful or whatever the fuck it might be, okay? But you're looking at that post and you're thinking, oh, this is what their lives are like all the time. All my old high school friends are still hanging out. They're all going on these amazing trips. They're all doing these amazing things. Whenever they're usually boasting more, they're usually showing like the top percentile of shit that they're doing. And a lot of it's just fake. A lot of it they're just making up, you know, and whenever you constantly compare yourself to these unrealistic standards, you're going to feel absolutely awful about yourself. You're going to want to try to keep up with them, and it's going to distract you from what's really important, which is putting your head down and getting your work done, working on the things that you actually care about, instead of trying to compete with these people who don't even really matter. Number 2, unrealistic beauty standards. You can tie this up with social media. However, I think it's also just with media in general, okay? Now, this channel is known for talking about beauty standards. You know, got a young balding man over here, okay? 23 years old, lost a lot of hair. Kind of sucks, whatever. Here's the thing. Most people aren't going to look like Brad Pitt in his prime. Most people aren't going to be as jacked as The Rock. Why? They're unrealistic beauty standards. These people spend years of their lives, as well as using steroids, bulking and cutting to get this perfect physique for these 5-minute shots shirtless. They dehydrate themselves for weeks leading up to the shoots. They barely eat any food just to get this one glory shot of their abs, okay? It's not realistic. You're not going to get that body. You can work towards having a better looking body that honestly is aesthetically pleasing. But the fact of the matter is, unless you're in this really odd group of multi-millionaires who have literally the best trainers on the earth and dedicate their entire lives towards this fitness goal, you're not going to get it. And most of us here, we're average people. We don't have God genetics. We don't have unlimited resources to pour into our bodies. We just have to focus on the basic shit. Eat okay, go to the gym, don't be an idiot. You do those things, you're probably going to have an okay looking body, okay? But we get so trapped in this idea that we have to look like this 100% fake dude in order to get girls, or in order to be in like some kind of validated group. And that's stupid. It's a waste of your time. It's going to make you do dumb stuff and not actually have you focus on what's important. You're going to look for shortcuts. You're going to do steroids. You're going to do diet pills. You're going to do all these things that are actually going to destroy your body long term, when you could be building healthy habits that allow you for long term to look fantastic by normal standards, okay? Stop trying to focus on what Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson looks like. Try to focus more on being the nice gym bro that goes to your work and looks honestly really good. 3, comparing yourself to peers. We kind of touched on this in number 1, but we can broaden this outside of social media. Okay, you have coworkers who are going out and doing all this awesome shit, and you're staying at home and saving money because you're trying to go on and invest in a new business idea you have, or you're trying to help start a family, and because of that you don't have as much expendable income. Stop comparing yourself to your peers. Your buddy just got a new car, who gives a shit? It doesn't actually matter what you're driving. All that matters is that it gets to point A to point B. You want to reward yourself with a really nice car? Sit down, do the work first, invest, get returns on those investments, then buy the car after you get those returns. But your buddy's over here maxing out his credit cards, opening up new credit lines, and is super drowning in debt because he's trying to keep up with the Joneses. He's trying to do all this really awesome, cool stuff without actually having the means to do that. And I think it's really toxic whenever you try to match your peers and compete with them on things that don't really matter. The superficial, weird shit of them buying a bunch of stuff that doesn't actually improve your life and will make you more miserable because you're tied up in all this debt. You now have a golden shackle attached to your arm where you have to work these higher paying jobs that are honestly more stressful just to be able to keep up with your friends who you honestly probably don't even care about that much. Stop comparing yourself to others. It's a waste of your time. Focus on yourself, compete with yourself, and you'll become a better person for it. Number 4, being impatient with goals. This ties in with number 3. Here's the thing. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. Most of us aren't going to become millionaires by the time that we're 25 or 30. It's just a sad reality. Statistically, most people who are millionaires are in their late 50s, early 60s. They've had a whole career 40, 50 years of working experience. They've been investing money all that time, compound interest. That's how they become millionaires. There's a book called Millionaires Next Door that highlight exactly this, show a ton of stats, show a ton of research, okay? The fact of the matter is, in order to become great, in order to be able to reach your massive goals, it's going to take a lot of time. You can't shortcut the success, okay? People try to, that's how they end up taking much longer, because since they took those shortcuts, they're not actually taking the right path. They're wasting time on these diversions that aren't actually getting them any closer to their goal, okay? Stop being impatient, look at your goal every single day, make a small amount of progress to that. Eventually, you're going to snowball and you're going to hit that goal, okay? But if you're trying to take shortcuts, you're going to take even longer and you're going to hate yourself for that. So just put your head down, do the work, get it done. 5, the final one, is tying your happiness to things you can't control. One of the biggest examples is sex and relationships. Here's the reality. The only thing that you can control is yourself. Nobody else in life, okay? You can be the best manipulator. You can be the most suave dude on the planet. Eventually, people are going to leave. They're going to die. They're going to move on, whatever it might be. If you are tying your happiness to things like having sex or having people like you, you are doomed to fail. You can't always convince every single person to like you. You can't always keep a relationship going. The fact of the matter is, you can't rely on anybody but yourself whenever it comes to developing your own personal happiness, okay? If you're relying on friends to make you happy, and those friends move on from you, you're screwed, okay? It's okay to have happiness in things like hookups, and it's okay to have happiness in things like having friends. But if you're making your entire worldview, your entire happiness circle, a part of that, you're screwing yourself over. Find a way to be satisfied with who you are and what you're doing. And once you find that inner happiness and peace in yourself, that's whenever you can start going out and making those connections and trying to also enhance your happiness by doing these other things, by picking up those girls, by making those friends, by hanging out, whatever it might be. Okay, but don't let your happiness rely only on that. Otherwise, you're going to screw the hell out of yourself later on in life whenever people start to move on. They have families, they stop doing that. You get older, and all of a sudden people don't really want to do hookup culture anymore. Where are you at now? You've tied up all your happiness, focus, and energy on this one thing that's not sustainable, and now you have to go start from the age of 40 to try to find your own inner happiness when people have already found that in their 20s and 30s. I hope you guys enjoyed these 5 pieces of information. If you did, I hope you go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. Do not forget to have better self-esteem because you listen to me.